The following lesson is linked to Learning Outcome 2, Reading and Viewing. It addresses the assessment standard that requires learners to explain the meaning of a wide range of written, visual, audio, and audiovisual texts. Learners should be able to recognize how selections and omissions in texts can affect meaning. They should also be able to distinguish between fact and opinion and give their own response.
Hi, welcome to this lesson extension on reading between the lines. So far, we've talked about how journalists have many facts at their disposal when they write a newspaper article. The facts they choose to include indicate their bias or which version of reality they are trying to convince the reader of. An article that only contains the facts is objective. Objective reporting is reporting that is neutral and impartial. The point of view conveyed is not distorted by bias. On the other hand, articles that attempt to manipulate the reader's view are subjective. Subjective reporting is reporting based on emotion and belief. The point of view conveyed is often distorted by bias and the use of emotive language. The more practice you get at critically reading text, the better you will become at reading between the lines, and the easier it will be to differentiate between objective and subjective text. So, in this extension lesson, we're going to take a look at another article in which the details are given in a selective manner. This is how it begins. Brains to replace Boogie-Babe. Well, we don't know yet who these nicknames refer to, but already we can make a number of assumptions. Brains obviously refers to someone intelligent, and this person is going to replace someone known as Boogie-Babe. From this, we can assume that the Boogie-Babe is someone who is perhaps attractive but more of a party animal and less serious or clever than Brains. Well, I don't know about you, but I am intrigued by this catchy headline, and I would read further to find out who is being referred to. Bertha Charuma has been dumped from SABC3's new talk show, 3 Talk, after 9 weeks. Some facts are included in this sentence. Fact is a statement believed to be true and which can be proven. We know that facts have been presented in this article because they can be proven. These are the facts contained so far. Bertha Charuma no longer appears in SABC3's new talk show. And she was on the show for 9 weeks. We can now assume that Bertha Charuma is the Boogie-Babe that the journalist was referring to in the headline. And from this, we get an idea of the journalist's opinion of her. Now look at the word dumped. Dumped is usually associated with dating, and it implies that she's been left for someone better. Now, if the journalist had used a word like replaced, it would have sounded less harsh and more neutral. The article continues like this. She will be replaced by former 702 presenter Nolene Maholwana-Sangu. 3 Talk said Maholwana-Sangu had been chosen to replace Charuma, known as Boogie-Babe, because she had intellect. Here, the replacement is stated as a fact, and it can be proven to be true. Maholwana-Sangu did work for 702, and she is going to work for 3 Talk. However, the paragraph continues to give selected information that makes Charuma appear stupid, known as the Boogie-Babe, and Maholwana Sangu appear intelligent. She had intellect. Did you notice the inverted commas around the word intellect? This means that someone must have said that Maholwana Sangu has intellect, but we are not told who. This is interesting. The journalist is trying to hint that either this is the general impression or that someone important said so. As readers, we don't know if Maholwana Sangu, being supposedly more intellectual than Charuma, was the only reason for the replacement. This is certainly the only information that the journalist has given us. A more critical reader would want to find out more information. Why was Charuma hired in the first place? How did she get the nickname Boogie-Babe? It would be interesting to hear Charuma's side of the story. The journalist ends off the article with this quote. Charuma responded, "Whether I came across as daft or not, I'm not going to comment." The quote has been carefully included to make it seem as if the dippy Boogie-Babe impression given in the article is an accurate one. When people are quoted as having no comment in a newspaper, it's often done to suggest that they have something to hide, and that is why they don't want to make a statement. Here, it almost seems as if Charuma herself is acknowledging that sometimes she came across as being daft or crazy. By not commenting further, she is also missing the opportunity to give her side of the story. In this article, the main way in which opinions have been indicated is through the labeling of the participants. Look at this alternative title to the article. Charuma replaced by Maholwana Sangu. This alternative headline is far more neutral. It makes use of the people's real names rather than nicknames or labels. By using their surnames, they are placed on equal footing. Now, whilst this headline is more neutral, I'm sure you would agree that it is much less likely to attract readers than the previous one. Be on the lookout for how participants are named in the news. The original headline is an example of sensationalism. Sensationalism refers to writing that tries to cause intense feelings in the reader. When you think about it, one presenter being replaced by another is not such an interesting story. But the journalist has used several techniques to make it seem more exciting. Dramatic language, a catchy headline, reporting of parts of the story that seem dramatic, and selective use of quotations. So how can you spot sensationalism in other news articles? Look out for language that is out of proportion to the situation. Do you see how you should not take the selected information you are given at face value? Always ask yourself if there could be more to the story. So keep practicing, and we'll go over more skills in our next lesson. Until then, goodbye.